Chagres is our Foods in the Hood.
Yes, sir.
Concerning how we lost our communities to the poor choices and qualities of health in our neighborhood. Can you give us a chronological breakdown of what the transformation of our neighborhoods to hoods became and poor food choices?
Well, one of the things that we got to understand is neighborhood. Inside the word neighbor is family, and inside the word hood is a covering, a protection. So when we had a neighborhood, we were all family within the community. Everybody was an adult, got respect. You could sleep at any of your friends' houses. You could eat at any of your friends' homes. So we were family. And when it just became the hood, and there was no more neighborly relationships, that meant that only those who had formed these little pockets was hiding undercover to denigrate not only the community, but violate all of the things that made us a community. And when you look at the word community, it means common unity. We had a common unity. No strangers could come within the community, and nobody would identify who he was. So there was very little stealing, robbing, breaking in, because everybody was covering each other's back. And so when you begin to look at the health of the community psychologically, that's what went first, our thinking. So when I no longer saw my next door neighbor as myself, that meant that I was only looking out for me, and he was only looking out for him. So if you have nobody covering your back, it's easy to get stabbed in the back, which is what the OJ said, backstabbers.
Absolutely. How did the foreigners that we have in the communities today, what makes us so attractive that they can come into the community and earn a living and we can't sustain ourselves?
Well, you got to understand opportunity. Nature abhors a vacuum. So when people come to America, they look for opportunities in which they can sustain themselves and provide for themselves. Well, those who came and scouted out America as to where you could get a start with a people who spend everything, you got to remember, the African American has said spends $1 trillion a year. So who wouldn't come to that market? You can sell them anything and they buy. Who would have believed that Black America would buy oversized t-shirts and wear them as clothing? Who would have believed that Black men in the 70s would wear high-heeled shoes and call that fashion? So when you begin to see that the Korean and the Asian or the Arab who did business, all he needed to do was to bring a product to the Black community. And he knew that there was gold in the ghetto. And so he came because there was no Black-owned grocery stores. You take Chicago. Chicago has one owned Black grocery store for over 1 million Black people. Now that don't even sound impossible. So the people got to eat every day. So the Arab and the Korean came and opened up the store. They don't have any clothing stores but a handful. So the Korean came with this cheap stuff from Korea and China, and everybody wanted to wear jumpsuits and jogging suits and t-shirts. He brought that junk in. He paid people working over there work for 50 cents a day. He brought it over here. He paid $1 for it and sell it for $100, $75. They make gym shoes in China. They make the knockoffs, so you think you buy Jordans and this and that. And he done brought them over here, and he made a ton of you because you brand name conscious. So it wasn't anything, it wasn't rocket science. It was gold in the ghetto, and they came and got the gold.
Elaborate on the concept I've heard you espouse before called nutritional genocide, how it came to be, what it is, and what you intend on doing.
See, slavery required an outside force, and genocide requires an outside stimulus to make it happen. So rather than let world opinion attack you anymore as it relates to white people is doing something to Black people, they looked at the behavior and the habits of Black people, and like Pavlov's dogs, you remember with that, condition respond? They knew that if they developed a mindset, Black people would automatically do it. So Black people argue that they want to eat pigtails and pig feet. No matter what the statistics say about their health, They don't even pay any attention to that. And so they conspire in their own assassination, which is what we coin nutritional genocide. You force a man to do what you know is not in his best interest by making him think that he's free and this is his own personal choice. So he makes a decision to eat 2 Big Macs a day and drink beer every day and smoke cigarettes every day. He ain't really convinced that that's hurting him because his minister told him everybody got to die. And you got to die from something. So he decided to die from smoking cigarettes, drinking whiskey, eating bad food. That was his choice of weapon. Nobody is telling black men they can live. Black men lead in 8 of the top 10 cancers. And nobody asks, well, how did that happen? Because black men don't think apples and oranges and grapes and grapefruits are food. So they never eat those things. I'm a steak and potato man. You understand? I eat me some fish. So nobody's telling them nutrition is connected with their well-being. So nutritional genocide is just like the Willie Lynch. It was a well thought out plan of divide, conquer, and assassinate. So they don't have to sell you blankets with smallpox on it anymore. They just open up what's the
Krusty Kreme donuts.
Right. So they just open that up and you go in there and buy a bag of them, and then next door to that is the 15-cent hamburger. You buy another bag of that, and then next door to that is the liquor store, and you buy your 40 ounce. And they got you. That's why the Klan ran an ad in Chicago, say the best weapon for us is black gangs. Y'all killed more than the Klan ever did. So we applaud y'all. So they send gangs $10 and $20 donations. Y'all keep on going, brothers. Y'all doing a great job for us. They send them $20 a month apiece.
Prince Asiel, as International Ambassador of the African Hebrew Israelites at Jerusalem, what is the significance of black people living outside of America not eating meat as it relates to our health situation?
Well, let's not concentrate about meat or living outside of America. I want them to be conscious in America that the consumption of a dead animal is not the optimum food for health. That's the first thing we start on. That something dead cannot keep you alive. So if you start off on that premise, then you'll understand why a plant-based diet, which is alive when you eat it, a live carrot, a live pea, a live tomato, you wouldn't dare think of eating rotten vegetables. But everybody eat rotten meat every day. But if I brought them a rotten tomato, they would think I'm crazy. But they go to the grocery store and have the pink dye or the red dye put on the meat to give the impression that it was just killed yesterday. They stupid. You understand? So that's the reality of it, Melly.